ওয়ার্কিং কমিটির বৈঠক শেষে সাংবাদিকদের মুখোমুখি সুখেন্দু শেখর রায় সরাসরি নজর রাখবো।
Statement without any prior knowledge to the members of the House, even it was not discussed in the Business Advisory Committee that disciplinary action shall have to be taken against some of the members who were allegedly involved in disruption of the House in the earlier session, that is monsoon session. And immediately thereafter, without giving any chance to anybody, the chair declared that those who are in favor of this motion moved by the minister, raise your hands. And as you know, they have the brute majority. The members of the Treasury bench, they raised their hands, and this motion was passed. And accordingly, about 12 members of different political parties belonging to the opposition, they were suspended for the remaining period of the session, including two of our leading members, lady members, Ms. Dola Sen and Ms. Shanta Chetri. Both of them are sitting besides me on the left. We not only condemn this incident, but propriety demands that if at all any allegation is there against anybody, an inquiry should be made. We are told that a committee was constituted by the chair, and that committee has submitted some report. We do not know. Behind our back it has been done. No opportunity was given to the persons against whom the allegations were made or inquiry was made. It is a denial of principle of natural justice. It attracts Article 14 of the Constitution of India, but it seems that the authorities concerned, they do not have any, even uncanny respect for the Constitution of India or the principle of natural justice. If someone is to be punished, before that, he or she should be afforded an opportunity of being heard. In this case, no hearing was afforded to any of the members who have been suspended today for the remaining period of the session. We condemn this because this is undemocratic, this is especially illegal, this is unconstitutional. Now friends, the allegation of disruption, we have heard enough of it. Those who are instrumental in disrupting the House for years together, for sessions together, they are now counseling people that no, there should not be any disruption. We do not support disruption. But before we come to our point, I want to remind all of you what the late Mr. Arun Jaitley, when he was the leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha, and late Mrs. Sushma Swaraj, when she was the leader of the Lok Sabha, what they say about the disruption, continuous disruption made by the BJP when the UPA was in power, for which sessions after sessions were washed out due to their disruptive activities. I quote from one of the news report dated December 24, 2014. It says, and I quote, "When the United Progressive Alliance was in power and the Bharatiya Janata Party occupied the opposition benches, successive sessions were disrupted by the BJP during the UPA regime. Sushma Swaraj, then leader of opposition of the Lok Sabha, had declared that not allowing parliament to function is also a form of democracy like any other form," unquote. Again, I would like to quote what Mr. Jaitley said. He said in an article in August 2012, and I quote, he argued in favor of disruptions, and he said, I quote, "If parliamentary accountability is subverted and a debate is intended to be used merely to put a lid on parliamentary accountability, it is then a legitimate tactic for the opposition to expose the government through parliamentary instruments available at its command. And according to me, disruption should not be described as preventing work from being done, because what we are doing is very important work itself," unquote. It means Arun Jaitley said that disruption is also a very important word by itself. We are not on that. We never supported disruption. But of course, the members have a right to dissent. Member has a right to raise their voice of dissent. And in a democracy, the voice of dissent is also to be listened. That is the essence of the democracy. If that is not done, the way this fascist regime is continuing their activities inside the parliament, not to speak of the outside parliament, then where the people will go? Where these things will be discussed, in coffee house or on the streets? So if in the highest forum of the parliament issues cannot be allowed to be discussed, then what is the alternative? What was the scene done by Mrs. Shanta Chetri? When she was in the well, she was protesting when Pegasus issue was not discussed in the last session, and she fell ill, sick, and she lost consciousness, and she was rushed to the hospital. She was treated. This was her physical condition, that he was in the commotion, she lost her consciousness. Even though for that act of Mrs. Shanta Chetri in the last session, in this session, on the very first day, she has been expelled for the remaining period of the session. Is this a fair play? Is this justice? Is this way democracy is run? Next, Ms. Dolashen. Ms. Dolashen, what is her sin? Because she is the most vocal voice in our team in Rajya Sabha. Because she belongs to the laborers community. She leads the laborers community. She is a leader of the trade union. And she always tries to expose the pain and sufferings of the laborers of this country on the floor of the house all the time. And that is why she has been targeted. This is our accusation to the authorities concerned. And above all, the way the things have been done today, we condemn this, and we appeal to the people all over the country just to see how this has been done. Even the principle of natural justice has been denied. If something wrong has been done by them, let them publish the video footage. Why the Rajya Sabha TV was switched off? Why there is no video footage? Why they were not summoned to the committee, so-called committee constituted by the authority concerned? So these are the questions for the action taken by the chair today against two of our members and other members of the opposition parties. We condemn this action in its entirety. Our party, All India Trinamool Congress, always stand for playing a constructive role in parliament, because people have sent to us parliament to protect their rights, to speak for the people. But unfortunately, there is no such scope here. We are against disruption of parliament. But government must take responsibility as to how to run parliament. There must be negotiations between the opposition and the government. Everywhere in the world it happens. There must be coordination between the government and the opposition for the sake of the people, because both are elected by the people. It is not that those who are elected for the treasury bench, they are the only representatives of the people. No. The members of the opposition are also elected by the people. Therefore, the government has a responsibility to have coordination with the opposition on all major issues concerning the nation. We are sorry to say, and I repeat, that 1 out of 10 bills are scrutinized. Then Parliament is being made to measure. What about the future of the standing committees and select committees? Why the rule makers made the provisions in the rule book that there should be standing committee and select committees to scrutinize bills before it is presented on the floor of the House? May I not put this question before the authorities concerned? And issues raised by the opposition never discussed. For example, there is a rule in Rajya Sabha, Rule 267, whenever there is a serious issue concerning the nation, then a member may ask for suspension of work under that Rule 267, suspension of all work to discuss.